So we're going to start with measuring the full length of the blouse, which is 22 inches. You just mark that across. You can make yours, well, whatever length is convenient for you. And that is the shoulder to nipple, the under bust, and the half length, which is shoulder to waist at 16.5. And also back this across. Now we're going to mark the shoulder. Shoulder is 7, and then the neck. The neck has to be small because it has a collar. The neck here is 2.5 by 2.5. I'm just going to draw a square so that I can use my curve. And then you come down at the shoulder for the shoulder slope by 1.5. And after the 1.5, you mark the chest line. Now the chest line, you can get that by dividing your bust by 6 plus 1 inch. Here I have 6.8, and then I just mark a straight line down, and you divide that into 2 to get your armhole. You connect the shoulder points, the midpoint of the armhole to the chest line. Here I'm just marking out the bust measurement so that I can connect it easily and well. I'm going to mark out the lines. Now the chest line, bust points, under bust, waist, and the full length of the blouse. Now we're going to mark our nipple to nipple, which is 7 divided by 2. 3.5, and I'm going to open it by 0.75 on both sides. You mark that on the waist, on the bust, and the full length. Then you connect it with the curve to the bust point like this. Now for that princess line, you just connect it to the midpoint of the armhole. You can use your hand and you can use the cuff sets. After this, now we can now impute our waist measurements. Be sure to remove that 1.5 that we have in the middle. You add it back like this. You connect from the bust to the waist, and then to the full length of the blouse. So this is the front pattern, and it's complete. Yes, at the bust point line, you come down by 2 inches and connect it to the bust points. Here I'm just trying to curve it up because I want that curve at the side of the waist. Now you can cut out your pattern. You just cut. You cut out the neck, the shoulder, and everything. You can just cut it the way I'm doing it here, or whichever way is convenient for you. Just try to cut on the lines that you've already drawn so you don't undercut your measurements. And now we'll cut the middle part. Pretty sure there's a tutorial on how to do this somewhere on the channel. In case this part is not very clear, you can check there. It's just a simple princess cut. And now we get to tape up like this. Fold it from down to top. Don't fold from top to down, and then fold it down with the tape. This will help to eliminate all those wrinkles on the side. And now we are going to cut the back. The back is going to be shorter than the front. so it's going to be shorter by 2 inches. So the back is 20 inches. That's the blouse length of the back, and the waist will also be shorter. The waist is going to be 14.5. You know, the front is 16.5. And then we're going to mark the shoulder. We do it like that because we want it to be the same length with the front. You know, the front and the back are not the same, so we do that so that they can be the same length. Don't worry, when you want to sew it, it will match up. After the shoulder, then you do the neck, just like the way we did the front. Just that the front for the neck, you are going to only come down by 1 inch, not 2.5 like the front, but the armhole will be the same, except for the slope at the armhole at the back. You just come down by 1 inch, not 1.5 like the back, but you also still divide the bust by 6 plus 1. Still mark the bust measurement there and connect it like this. It's actually very simple. So then you mark the bust points, the nipple to nipple rather, and connect it like this. So yeah, also do the same 0.75 on both sides, which is 1.5. Connect it from the full length to the waist, and then on the chest line you just come down by 1 inch and connect it like this. So I'm removing ½ inch from the middle there because of the folding that we'll be doing, and I'm adding that ½ inch back to the bust measurement. Connect it like this. That's 0.25 on both sides, making it half. And then the back, I just want to go in by 0.75 because I don't want any bulge at the back, the center back of the blouse. And I'll add it to the waist measurement. So essentially everything you remove, make sure you add it back. The 1.5 on the nipple to nipple mark and the 0.75, just add everything back so that you don't have a shortage. So if you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section. I would be delighted to answer. So the same curve in the front, you just put that at the back too, and then you can cut it out. Cut. You can also decide to put the princess dart at the back of the blouse. That means that you would have 2 parts or 4 if you put them together, but I don't want that, so I didn't do that. I just folded it from the side to the center like this, just like we did for the on that bust line. So I can only have just 2 parts, 2 back pieces for the back, 2 pieces for the back rather. Pattern set, yes. And then you can do it like this too, and just tape it down and place it on your fabric and cut out. Yeah, this is fabric I'll be using. I already gave allowances. I gave 1 inch allowance on the zip side, the zipper side, and at the hem of the blouse, and also at the side of the blouse. And then I put ½ inches all on the other side, and then I cut it out like this. So I have side and center, and this is the back. Do the same thing, 1 inch down, 1 inch on the side, and ½ inch everywhere else. Now this is the sleeve as the borderline. So from the borderline, I'm just going to mark 4 inches. Now yours is supposed to be your bust measurement divided by 12 plus 1, and then you mark a straight line, and on that straight line you now mark your bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1, and then draw a slant line and divide that slant line into 2 so that you can have the front and the back pattern together. You curve it like this to join the points, which is going to be the armhole and the shoulder points. You just curve your line like this, and then this is the bicep line. My bicep line here is 8, and then the full length of the sleeve. Now don't put your complete full length, because you know there's still going to be a band, a cuff at the end of the sleeve. So I just did mine as 20 and 20, but I later changed it to 19. So you could also do yours as 19 as well, because the band that I used was 4 inches long. You can make yours as long as 5 inches, but not longer than that, so it's not too much. Yes, this is when I was changing it to 19 inches. I'm pretty sure we all understand how to cut a sleeve by now. And if you are not very clear on it, please tell me in the comment section. And also don't forget to like this video, share, comment, so that we can create more of this educational posts. Thank you. And we can cut this out and transfer to fabric. Put the fabric on fold and cut 2 pieces. Yes, you cut it out like this. Later on we'll remove the piece of there so that we can have front and back. This is here we're just trying to cut the cuffs, making it 10 and a half inches long and 4.5 inches wide. So this is 2 for the 2 sleeves. Please, if you don't understand, please ask questions. So this is it. Now we're going to cut it out. We cut out that little piece there so that we can now have front and back. Cutting like that means that this would represent our front side. I'm just adding back the half allowance so that I would not cut out my allowance, sewing allowance. Just replicate that on the second sleeve. Please be careful here so you don't make any mistakes. Yes, now for the skirts, I folded the fabric into 4. And you can make it as wide as you want. I usually do gathers for your waist multiplied by 3 or 4 inches, and then the height of the skirt as long or as short as you want your skirt to be. And just cut across. Remember to put your fabric on fold. That's in 4 places, not 2. Sure that everything is accurate. So we have all our pattern sets here. This is the skirt. For the skirt, you're going to have to cut a straight skirt. That's what you're going to use to line the inside. and I use the black satin, and I'm also using the black satin to line my top. Now you can decide to put interfacing on your blouse pattern if you want it. I didn't do that. So this is my straight skirt. I've already sewn the parts together. I've already joined the sides together, and also for my blouse as well. I've joined the center to the side. You know, we're supposed to have 4 pieces for the front and just 2 for the back if you are using this pattern. And for the skirt, I just sewed the gather lines. So now I just want to iron all my seam lines open for the neat work. You do this for all your seam lines. Please be sure to always check your measurements. Make sure everything is correct. If you don't know how to cut a straight skirt, please let me know in the comment section. Also, please don't forget to like our videos and share with a friend. You iron all the seam lines open, inside and out. So we've ironed everything, including the blouse, and now we can join the pieces together. You join the lining to the lining and fabric to fabric. Now our sewing allowance on this side is 1 inch, and then you join the shoulder. So you do this for both the lining and the fabric, the fashion fabric. So this is it here, we've joined it already. Now we iron it open. We're almost done at this point. It's actually a very simple tutorial. I hope you try this out and let me know how your experience was. Remember, ironing your seam lines is what makes the work beautiful and professional. And very necessary. So now we're going to sew the hem together. You know, we added 1 inch allowance to the fashion fabric, but to the lining we didn't add that because we want to turn it in. So after sewing that, now we can now sew the center front for your zipper. See, just like this. After doing it like that, we now have to iron. See how neat is already coming out. And now we want to fix the sleeve. Remember, we said the part we cut out is for the front. This is for the band. I just want to iron it and face it on the band. I'm only ironing to one side. I'm not doing it fully. And then when I'm done ironing the interfacing, I'm going to fold where I want to sew. That's my ½ inch allowance that I want to use to join the band to the sleeve. I hope this is clear enough for you, and if it's not, please just let me know in the comment section. And if it is clear for you, please just like this video and share it. I'm just trimming out all the interface. This is stay, by the way. Band is 4.5 inch long. The ½ inch is for the sewing allowance. measure the neck round. My measurement here is 15. Now that 15, you're going to divide it by 2 and then draw a line which is 7.5 and mark like this, then draw a straight line. You divide that by 2 so that you can have the midpoint, and then you raise it up by 1 inch. My collar is 1.5. On that 1 inch is where I'm going to mark my 1.5 up, and then connect it from that midpoint to the raised line. I don't know if you understand what I mean. That's the front and that is the back. The part that is raised up is the back. Please, if you don't understand, just ask. I'm going to leave allowance. My 1 inch, we left 1 inch for the zipper in the front, so I'm going to leave that same 1 inch at the front, but I'm going to leave ½ inch everywhere else. And I'm going to cut 2 of this, then line it with interfacing as well. So I'm going to join the back because there's no zipper at the back, and then I'll join the top side, but I'm going to leave the down that I want to use to fold to sew on the neckline. You see that I folded the ½ inch allowance in because I want to use it to cover up the neckline, and this is how I'm going to do it. So you just unfold that ½ inch and then sew it round. Make sure it's the same length with the neckline, and then when you sew the fabric, then you now turn it over and cover the lining so everything is neat inside. And now we just want to fix our zip. From the hem, you just go up by 5 inches, and don't let your zipper exceed that 5 inches. So that means your zipper is going to start from that line up. And now we want to go back to the skirt. Draw out your gathers. The gather, you have to sew the gather on both the top of the fabric and the hem of the fabric. So the top is going to be for the waist, and the hem is going to, and the down is hem is going to be for the hem of the straight skirt. So you have to join the hem of the skirt first before you now flip it over and join it to the waist like this. After you join the hem, then you now raise it up. Arrange it very well. Make sure you draw your gathers to match with the waist, and draw the gathers to match with the hem of the skirt. Just the way we did the collar, you also fold. You cut out your band, fold it, and use your band to seal up the waist. You cover one side, turn it over, use it to cover the other side. And we have a neat skirt. After that, you join it at the back and fix your zipper. And that will be all for this tutorial. Here is our finished work. Hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share.